Hi, Homeworthy. Welcome to my house in Southern California. Happy Thanksgiving. Come on in. Today, I'd like to share with you three things. The first thing I'd like to talk about is why creating special spaces is so important. And next, I'd like to talk about how we could create different dinner settings that are beautiful and also thoughtful. And third, I'd love to share a craft with you that I hope you will treasure forever. Spaces and places are so important because we remember these places. I remember my grandmother's lake cottage. It's freshly made beds and crisply ironed sheets and pillowcases with hand tatting on the edge and embroidery, piled with lots of quilts and wood windows that open to the breeze and the sound of crickets and the smell of fresh grass. And I remember my cousins running in and out of the house and the wood floors creaking and the screen door slamming. And I remember the way the kitchen smelled, this tiny little kitchen, and it always smelled like fried chicken and cornbread and cake. And all of these things are vivid in my memory and take me right back to my grandmother's house and this place. The way I feel about my grandmother's lake cottage could be defined by the word Topophilia, which means love of place and the feelings, the special feelings that you get from a place. This is a funny word that was created by the poet W.H. Auden in 1948 to describe a particular place that he loved that evoked emotion and feeling. Topophilia is a word I discovered when I was working on my Stanford thesis. And it's a word I felt like I was searching for my entire life because I am so inspired by architecture, interiors, gardens, and natural spaces. I'm enthralled with lighting, texture, detail, and proportion. It is this heightened sense of space and place rendered through the layering of beautifully harmonized components that actualizes my creative worlds. My holiday and special event venues could be characterized by a kind of glorious sociability between reality and fantasy, a playful magic world not marked by time but creativity that strives to evoke this emotional response. So let me tell you how this particular Topophilia plays out in my life. We were fortunate to have a college athlete, and we knew that it would be a wonderful experience to be able to go to the games and have friends and family join us for this special time in Charlie's life and our life as well. So we were able to buy a second house up in Menlo Park near where he went to college. And it was a house that I knew at the time that I could also fly back and forth and remodel it over time and then flip it. So there were several reasons why this we thought was a good idea for our family. And it turned out to be one of the best things that we've ever done because this place ended up being so special for our family. and all of us to be able to be together, not just with Charlie, but extended family, and also getting to know his friends and his other, and the families of other friends as well. So it turned out to be just this wonderful experience and something we will always be grateful that we were able to do. And then to make it that much more special, at the end of it all, when we were selling this property, Charlie went to all of his friends on the football team and the fraternity and the dorm, and he asked them to write letters to me about the time that they had spent in the house. And then he had all of these letters laminated and put into a book for me, thanking me for that time that he and all of his friends were able to spend in that house, and how meaningful it was. So these letters are one of the best treasures I've ever received. So now you know one of the reasons why I think space and place are so important. But let's move on and let's come create a little bit of magic ourselves. So sometimes people like to be a little more formal when it comes to Thanksgiving and the holidays. So I've set an example of a table setting that feels a little more elegant and formal for that occasion. So we were able to start with the inspiration of this beautiful garner to bow tablecloth that is such a beautiful tablecloth that you could use anytime, but is really, its coloring is perfect for Thanksgiving. So that set the stage for the rest of our table setting. And then we really have very simple things. We have our regular dinnerware, very simple botanical vases with a variety of different flowers in them, a lot of candles, and really quite elegant, but quite simple of a setting. I think one of the special things that we have, and I try to do every year at Thanksgiving, is give all my guests these little gratitude journals. And I think that this is just a lovely thing, because we all know that the studies show that being grateful makes you happier. And then in addition, I've given everyone a little basket of chocolate because, of course, I know chocolate makes me happier, and most other people as well. One of the details that we added to our dining space this year was this lovely little garland that's over our fireplace. And this is an example of where we took something that was faux and then we added some real elements to it. So we've actually got three different things happening here. We've got three different faux elements, and then we've got real kumquats that we wired through and tied on. And so they make it smell really beautiful, and they add just this beautiful touch to our space, and is easy to change out after. The other thing that I think makes a house a home, and particularly personal, is using personal items and framing them and putting them throughout your house. So behind me we have handprints of two of my children, and I do this often with their artwork, with their baby silverware, with all kinds of things that are sentimental in our lives, and they just remind me of them and make our house ours and very personal to us. So this is such a fun little thing. I'm going to take you downstairs to my craft room in a little while, and we're going to make some handprints for my daughter of her children's handprints. So this will be our fun Christmas surprise that we'll work on downstairs in the craft room pretty soon. So in this table setting, we also did something very traditional, but yet our base color is a little bit different, but otherwise pretty traditional. We started with a cornucopia in the center, and it was one that we cobbled together ourselves and put a turkey on top. And we felt that this was sort of the symbol of Thanksgiving, since we all know that Thanksgiving is a time to celebrate the harvest and the blessings of the year. So we wanted to start with our cornucopia in the center and build around that. That was our starting point. So in addition, we've got these lovely Juliska dishes on a charger and little plaid flannel napkins. I think one of the key factors to consider when you look at this table setting is that we didn't start with a Thanksgiving tablecloth. So we started with a linen tablecloth that we can use all year round, but we built upon it with our other elements. So you don't always have to have something that's special and just for the occasion. It's a perfect way to show that you really can make do with what you have and build upon it. In addition to our place settings, we've got, again, very simple flowers. We've got orange tulips that just add a lot of color and focus to our table and coordinate so well with our natural pumpkins. So we used, again, our pumpkins as one of the central features in our table, and it really looks very natural, a little more earthy, and maybe a little closer to what that original Thanksgiving dinner actually looks like. So since we're standing here at the entry to my kitchen, I thought I'd talk about what's happening here behind me. So as many of you know, I set this up for Halloween and I wanted it to transition through to Thanksgiving. So I kept my same pumpkins and similar candles and branches, but I changed out my ornaments. So pretty simple transition. I no longer have little spooky guys up here, and I just have mushrooms of all different sizes and different owls, and then of course my giant owl vases on either side. So it transitions very easily and still gives me a really fun intro to Thanksgiving. So if you need an idea for a breakfast Thanksgiving table setting, I've got something that is very family friendly here. I have lots of grandchildren, and so I like to do things that are a bit playful and fun and happy. And so we started, our original inspiration was these funny little owls, these wicker owls, and then there's his little squirrel friend a little further down on the table. We've got all kinds of flowers popping out of his hair here, and it just gives us a very playful table to start with. And then accompanying our friends, our woodland friends here, of course we have a spattering of birds and squirrels all about the table with just little funny flowers, an assortment of funny flowers in them. And then for our place settings, we've just got very simple woven Target placemats that are super durable, super inexpensive. We got our regular Hudson Grace dinnerware, little checked napkins, but of course all the napkins have little fun woodland friends on them too. So we've got squirrels and we've got owls and we've got chestnuts as well, or acorns. And then to top everything off, instead of a regular ordinary cracker, we made our own with their own little chocolate cookie sticks that they like, wrapped in a ribbon in a leaf. And these are of course only to eat after we have breakfast, but it makes a fun festive table topping and a spot of color and playfulness, and something that that of course my grandchildren love. Cookies. Who doesn't love cookies? So many of you love a traditional Thanksgiving table. So we've provided an example of just that. So in this instance, I've used another garner to bow tablecloth that I think is perfect for our setting, and it's actually got a little vinylized finish to it that makes it washable, and you can wipe it off when everyone spills their Thanksgiving feast all over it. So it's really a very practical as well as beautiful place to start your table setting. So on top of that, we've got wood chargers, and again, regular dinner plates, and then one little accent colorful plate from Hudson Grace that just makes things pop a little bit visually. In our center, of course, we started with one of the Nina Pinta or Santa Maria boats and filled it with nuts and different kinds of squash to just give us, again, a little sense of playfulness. We want to have fun with all of this. So this, although it's serious and traditional, you can't help but smile when you see all these funny little boats, again, filled with chocolate, and our funny little Lori Mitchell characters, the Thanksgiving, performing all kinds of Thanksgiving antics about the table. So other than that, we've got tiny little vases filled with a daisy type, Cosmo, and bamboo silverware and napkins. So very understated table, but again, speaks Thanksgiving. I think one of the things that I feel is the most special about this table setting is what's inside our little goodie bags. And normally I have chocolate or goodies in here, but because I have them in the boats, what I have inside I think is even more special. And these are these lovely little books that are for each of my guests that say why I'm grateful for you. And then there's all these little pages that talk about, for instance, I'm grateful that you always make me feel blank even when blank. So there's just all kinds of lovely passages to fill in and let your dinner guests know how you feel about them. So I think this is just a lovely thing that will be cherished forever by each of your family members or your guests if you fill it in specifically from you. It'll make them smile, it'll make them, it'll be something that I think that they will say forever. And I also think this is a fantastic idea if you wanted to create your own book. So if I had had more time this year, I might have made my own with specific questions or answers that I felt would be appropriate to each person. And you could even put pictures. If you like bookbinding or bookmaking, you could make something really beautiful and really special with photos as well as these different thoughts about why this person is so special in your life. After all, this is the time that we want to talk about why we are grateful. And most of us are most grateful for our family and for our friends and for our loved ones. So I think this is just a wonderful place to start and very sentimental. And it's all about what the holidays all about. So for those of you that have fantastic weather like we do in Southern California, we could actually have Thanksgiving outside on the patio. So I've got a little outdoor setting set up to sort of give you a nice example of how that might work if you're barbecuing your turkey or you want to be outside. So again, I started with a lovely printed linen tablecloth that really was the inspiration for our entire setting. And then on top of that, we have Vietri dishes. We have these lovely botanical dishes from John Darien. So each very fragile, very delicate, but they look absolutely beautiful in this table setting. And then just to keep things very clean and simple and kind of California French, we've got our ceramic pumpkins, white pumpkins, and then we've got some pumpkin candles mixed in and some other little tiny candles. So this at night is kind of super fabulous. And we've got our lanterns up above with candles in our fireplace. So you can imagine this would be a very romantic kind of place to have Thanksgiving dinner. Okay, so guys, do you know what we have here? This is our gratitude tree. And so what we're going to do with this, so we took our giant owl and we put branches in them, and then we put all these fun little fruit that are made by this fun company that makes these paper fruit. And we decorated our tree with that and little leaves. And then we have these fun little leaves that an artist made. Her name is Catherine Greenup, and she makes these pretty leaves that actually have gold leaf on them. And we have little ribbon through them. And what we're going to do, and there's different pretty colors on the back, but what we're going to do is every year we're going to put what we're most grateful for on the tree. So everyone gets to write a leaf and write whatever you want that you're grateful for, and then make sure to put your name, okay? And then over the years, we'll have a tree with lots of leaves, and it'll be our gratitude tree. Okay, so who's going to go first and write what they're grateful for?
Could I go?
Sure. Do you want that one? And then Elliot, which one do you want? That one? Okay. Yeah, this one's yours. You know what? This is a maple leaf. Isn't that pretty?
Yeah.
Okay, and maybe you could just draw a little picture on here. Elliot's going to write what he wants. Okay, May, do you want to hang it up on the tree wherever you want? Thank you so much. That makes it so special, don't you think? Yeah, I love that. Okay, Elliot, so maybe put the year too.
Oh, I never put the year.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll put that after. Okay.
I put that one.
Elliot, did Elliot put that one? You think so?
Yeah.
May did this one.
Oh.
Yeah, and you're going to put yours too. Okay, Al, how are you doing? Okay, I'm going to put yours on.
Sure.
Okay, wherever you want. Okay, now will you give the pen? Will you give the pen to Whit? Yeah, Whit. You want to put your name on? Okay. Let's see, however you want, right there. Yeah, just put whatever you want. Oh. Oh. Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, you're putting numbers. That's fantastic. Okay, are we ready?
Yeah.
I love it. Is it good? What? Yeah, it's good. Okay.
Ready.
Oh, you're ready. Okay, you ready? Where do you want to put it? Wherever you want. Where do you want to put it?
I don't know.
Right here?
No.
Oh. Oh, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Thank you. We did it. We did it, right? Okay. Now, should we go make our craft?
Yeah.
So we are in my craft room, and we are going to make something really special today for a surprise for our mom for Christmas. So what we're going to do, you guys all saw upstairs that I had these handprints, and these are from two of my children over the years, and I had them framed in, I think, a lovely way that worked for my house and then also for the personality of the child. So, and these are signed by the kids, and I've had them for many, many years. So these are now my adult children, but I have their special handprints, and I love these. So these are the things that I love to hang on my wall and that make my house feel special and make my house feel very personal. So I think that your mom would love to have those too, don't you? So all that we need for supplies are our quick dry clay, so that we don't have to kill and fire it. And we've got some parchment paper that we've laid down so that it's easy to roll out our clay. We've got a rolling pin. We've got something to scoop our clay. And then we've got some water just to help our clay get a little bit softer. And we've got a pen and a knife. And then we've got some acrylic spray. And you want something that's kind of like this so that it helps preserve the handprint once it's dry. So it takes several days and probably longer to actually sit and dry. But then once it does, you want to spray it so that it will last that much longer. So we're going to start off, and whose hand is going to be first? Who wants to go first? You want to go first?
Yeah.
Okay, well, we need the biggest hunk of clay for your hand. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to scoop some more. That looks like enough for a tiny hand. So we're going to scoop a little bit more. Get it in here. Let's see, maybe even a little more. Sorry, man, I don't mean to elbow you. That stuff's kind of tough. Okay, so we have that. Okay, now, Elliot, do you want to help and roll it out a little bit?
Yeah.
We want to roll it out to about this thick. We don't want it to be, see, kind of about like this. So we don't want it to be too thin because then it will break easy. Okay, I think it's pretty good. What do you think?
No, you got
Oh, that looks pretty good. Okay, so now, Al, do you want to put your hand down? Okay, so what we're going to do, oh, let's see. Maybe move over a tiny bit. Oh, that looks good, doesn't it? Okay, so I'm going to trace around it with a marker. Let's see. There we go. Okay. There we go. What do you think, Gwen? Can you see? Do you like it? Does it look like Elliot's hand? Okay. Okay. Okay, let's see. Did we get it? Oh, we did pretty good.
God.
Okay, so now the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to need to cut around it. So we're going to actually, I have a sharp little knife, and I'm going to cut around that to kind of get my shape. See that?
Yep.
Okay. Now, because, let's see. Okay, so maybe, so what we're going to do is cut around. We'll take out all of our excess clay. And then, Elliot, I'm going to have you maybe put your name in the year right here.
Okay.
Okay, and something kind of sharp. Let's see, I got to cut this out. Okay, maybe move over just a tiny bit. I'll move this over. And we'll see if we can cut. It might be easier to cut around this way, like this. Okay. Okay, so then I'm going to leave this. Once I cut this all out and around, then I'm going to leave it to dry. And I'm going to make sure that I don't have any little marker on there, or if my edges are not very smooth, then I'll take just a little bit of water and kind of smooth out my edges a little bit. See?
Yeah.
See how that water just makes it smooth out?
Yeah.
And then, yeah. So anyway, so that's sort of the concept, and then we'll cut around the rest of that, and we'll have a nice little handprint that'll dry. But meanwhile, then Elliot, we should probably have you put your name and the year maybe on the bottom here, but we want to do it with something sharp and tiny. Oh, Elliot, that's cute. Okay, do you want to put the year?
Yeah, I'll use
Okay.
that for the year because it's a little.
It's a little tinier. Oh, that looks good. Okay. Okay.
It's good. Sweet flower.
Yes. Okay, but that, let's see, 25. Is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay, that looks good. Okay, so do we want to take a little water and smooth out that, or do you want to leave it like that? Whatever you want. Okay? Oh, that looks good. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that looks good. Okay, so then Grandma will finish cutting this out, and I'll make sure, like any of these little lines, we don't want to see on our clay before I seal it, right? So it looks nice and clean and pretty. Okay, so our family loves to have scavenger hunts, and so today we're going to be hunting for turkeys. And the person that finds the most turkeys wins a prize. Yeah, a turkey. So are you guys ready?
Yeah.
Okay, so Uncle Charlie is gonna give the signal and tell you when to go, and then everyone's gonna run around and start collecting turkeys. You guys ready?
Okay, ready, set, go!
So thanks for joining us on our Thanksgiving tour, and I hope that these tips were helpful for you and your family. And we wish you a happy Thanksgiving, and thank you to all of my family. I am so grateful for all of you.